It's your boy Bugatti NYC. What's good, y'all? Trump. Is there a cover-up going on with the Epstein files? Let's get this camera straight. I don't know if y'all know it, but we also streaming live on Twitch. Let's get it. Yeah. And you know what we got to do. We waiting to give your boy some time because you know he always takes his time to get it right. Y'all ready? I know y'all are because I am. But we going to see if he's ready. Any second now. Anytime you're ready. Bling, bling, bling. 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 Let's go like bling, bling, bling. Bling, bling, bling. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Are you? Uh, uh. Any second now. Yeah. One more time. And let's wake up those paws. Let's wake up those paws. Let's wake up those paws. And go, 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 shorty. It's your birthday. We gonna party like it's your birthday. We gonna sip Bacardi like it's your birthday. And you know we don't give up because it's your birthday. Y'all know why I'm turned up, right? Because it's if pump that beat. Friday, July 11th. That's right, y'all. It's 2025. I'm your host, Bugatti NYC, and this here's our bottom line where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that and that, where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that. Just got me lit. Yes, good morning, everybody. Thank God it's Friday. Friday night. Who we got up in the building? We got Mark Dorfman. Good morning from New York City. We got Rebecca Lanyen Bueno from Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's right. We got Mark Dorfman up in the building saying what's good to Rebecca. We got Batty Lynn. You know she always got her coffee or her tea, and she's chiming in from no other place but Detroit. That's right, you guys. We're going to keep on going. Kendra, I was thinking about you yesterday. Where you been? How you doing? Chiming in from VA. Mark Dorfman says, what's up? Good looking to Batty Lynn. Everybody, turn around and say what's up to Kendra. Where you been, girl? Let's go. I was about to send an all points bulletin out on you. Okay, let's keep on going, y'all. We got who else we got up in here? Sky. Good morning, Sky. Who is that? Mark Rasteel. Good morning from Akai, Florida. Okay, I hope I said that right. Did I? No, I'm sorry. Ocala, Florida. I'm sorry. We got Kendra. That's right. Puerto Rico. Yeah, girl. Where you been? That's right, Kendra. Where you been at? Mark Dorfman. Good morning, Kendra. And this your boy Bugatti NYC. And like I always tell you, y'all could have went anywhere, but the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you for coming here this Friday morning. Y'all could have went anywhere, but I know what y'all want. Y'all want that information. Y'all want that news. Y'all want that up to date. So without any further ado, I got a full clip. And guess what I'm going to do? Let's get into these titles. Let's go for it. Let's go. Let's get right into it. We got Trump. Is there a cover-up going on with the Epstein files? You see, I got right into it. We didn't hold anything back. Yesterday, when they kept on asking him the questions about Epstein, he basically broke loose and said, Epstein, how long are you guys going to talk about this Epstein guy? Well, guess what? We got a lot of coverage and a lot of behind the scenes and a possibility of someone saying, there could be a cover-up. Let's keep on moving forward. What else do we have going on over here? We've got, there she is over there. Don't try to hide. That's right, Governor Kathy Hochul. She has a press secretary who's resigned after she has been put on leave. Heard about this? We talked about that a few weeks ago. Seems like a few people in her administration have gotten locked up as well as kicked out of their positions. So it seems like she has a shaky administration going on over there. No wonder New York is going through what we're going through currently in these times. Let's keep on moving forward, because last but not least, we got this Phoenix man who's been held down for 4 minutes. That's right, that's all it takes, because I lived in Phoenix before and I could understand this story right here. This man was held down for 4 minutes by police and he was cooked on the pavement. He files a lawsuit, and guess what? I lived in Phoenix, I told you guys before. I had a CD one time, I put it inside of the console of the dashboard of my car. Guess what happened when I came back? The CD had melted into the upholstery. Yes, it gets that hot. We're gonna keep on moving forward, you guys, because guess what? I always tell you guys what I gotta do. I got 5 on it. I'm gonna stack 5 at a time, and then you guys are gonna tell me what y'all think in those comments, and then we're gonna keep it going. But also, you guys gotta remember, let me know where you're chiming in from, because we around here, we like to get information and input from our co-hosts and all of the people that are here with us. But without any further ado, we have a lot of back and forth right now, because yesterday we had a dinner at the White House where we had the president of Liberia, who was talking, I guess, pretty eloquently in English. And Trump was asked him, "Wow, you speak so beautifully. Where'd you learn English?" A lot of people thought that was a little wrong to say. I don't know what you guys think, but let's just get into it. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's stack this deck, and let's get into what we got. Let's go.
Good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully?
We just want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. It's such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
It's a recent celebration of your 249th anniversary. We did in Liberia at your embassy. Mr. President, we thank you for this opportunity to be here. Liberia is a longtime friend of the United States. And we believe in your policy of making America great again. And we also go a long way with you, in your diplomacy that has to do with economic development and commercial friendship. Liberia has a lot of minerals, and one of the things we ask as good friends for a long time is the opportunity to do a survey of our minerals. Mm-hmm. And also we are committed to peace, and we've been very lucky within our region. We had a country that have had a series of democratic elections, and our country had been cooling down. And also we want to encourage American involvement in the investment in Liberia. Yeah. We'd like to see that happen. We want to work with the United States in peace and security within the region.
As you can see, they wasn't even thinking about what everyone else was talking about, even though that's what the clip says. They basically kept it moving forward and talked about enrichment, which is good, because why not use our own minerals before we go somewhere else? If we have the vibranium, let's use it, guys. We got to keep on going over, because now the plot thickens as Elon Musk's latest attack on Trump's over the Epstein files. Come on, y'all, we got to get into this Epstein stuff. I'm talking about it's all over the internet right now. That's all they're talking about. And I know that's what you guys want to talk about, so let's get into it.
The rift between Elon Musk and Donald Trump has deepened after the tech billionaire declared former Trump advisor Steve Bannon is in the Jeffrey Epstein files. He posted the comment in response to a tweet from another former Trump advisor, Roger Stone, who was asking why Mr. Bannon had met with Epstein after his convictions. Joining me now is Sky News contributor Kosha Garda. Kosha, good to see you. Thanks for joining me. Look, the bromance, it's well and truly over, but this is quite a startling claim by Musk.
It certainly is. Great to be with you, Danica. You know, the plot thickens and the theories and conspiracy theories thicken because there is an information void out there. A lot of people have been quite surprised by the news this week coming out of the administration. That said, Elon Musk is not exactly a reliable narrator on this front because he, as we all remember, just 2 weeks ago accused President Trump of being in the files and then promptly deleted that tweet for many reasons, and that he didn't come off very well on that. Nobody believes that for a second because Joe Biden would have been the first to release that if that were true. So when he goes out and accuses other people, I think people are unlikely to believe it at face value, though anything is certainly possible. On the flip side, the Trump administration hasn't exactly handled this well either, and a lot of people in their base are not happy with several, especially Pam Bondi and Alina Habba and people like that in the administration that seem to have been all over the place on the messaging. So it's really a mess, and a lot of people are making political hay out of it.
Okay, let's see what sorry guys. Let's see what Jeffrey Epstein's brother has to say about it. Oh yeah, because he's got a brother. Does Epstein's brother think that there's nothing going on here, that when you scratch it, you don't sniff and smell anything? Guess what? Jeffrey Epstein's brother laughed at the FBI's findings regarding his expiration. Let's go, guys. That's right. We got some in-depth information here.
For you, it's personal. This was your brother. And just so everybody knows, Mark wasn't part of anything that his brother was doing in this regard. He's never been connected to it. There's never been a suggestion. It's not about that. But Mark, you do not believe what the administration, the Trump administration, is putting out about your brother now. Why?
Well, every time they say something or do something to try to quash the fact that he was most likely murdered, they just put their foot further down their mouth. I mean, for instance, Kash Patel in the congressional hearing, he listed his credentials as a prosecutor and other such things, and he said that it was a suicide. He said, you know a suicide when you see it. That's basically what he said. So the questions that popped into my mind was, first of all, number one, how many suicides has he seen? Number one. Two, is he a forensic pathologist? Does he have a medical degree? Does he have a certificate that he passed the CPR course? Does he have a Boy Scout merit badge for first aid? What is he basing his expertise on? Contrast that to Dr. Roman, who was a city pathologist who did the autopsy. She came out of the autopsy and said she couldn't call it a suicide because it looked too much like a homicide. Dr. Michael Barden, who was there on my behalf, who witnessed the autopsy, also concurred that it looked more like a homicide than a suicide. Now, was Kash Patel in the autopsy room? No. Was Kash Patel in the prison when they found Jeffrey? No, I don't think so. And if he was there, that raises even a bigger question. So every time they say something, I mean, when Kash Patel came out with that statement, I laughed at how stupid it was. And then they just released this video. This you're going to like. After the death, a few days after the death, Bill Barr, the Attorney General, said he saw that video and he saw that nobody went in or out of the tier, and that convinced him it was a suicide. And I heard that and I realized how stupid that was, because no one could get to that door, go in, kill somebody, leave completely undetected. That's like an asinine concept. So if Jeff was killed, he was either killed by somebody on the tier or when they locked up the tier. So that's one part of it. Now, I asked to get the footage from that same camera under Freedom of Information Act from 10 o'clock the night before until noon the following morning. That would show who locked up the tier, who were the last people on that tier. And in the morning, it would show, Michael Thomas going in the guard and finding the body, and it would show what the situation was when they removed the body from the tier. I was initially told I couldn't get that footage because it was still an open investigation. Okay, I understand that. But then when the investigation was over, I asked for that footage again, okay? And I was now told that the cameras that were operating don't show that area.
That's right.
I have this in writing from the Bureau of Prisons, that the cameras that were operating
I remember.
And I was very specific about the footage, the same footage that Bill Barr saw.
No, Mark, listen, I get it. And the transparency wasn't there. And then they said that there was a malfunction. Then they said they weren't coordinated. And look, I get why you guys are upset about what's happening here. But I can tell you this, it's not over.
And it's not, because we're going to keep going, and I know y'all going to keep on wanting to peel the layers of this onion back and make sure that I stay on point with what's going on with that. What's up with the Epstein files? What else you got, Bugatti? Y'all the reason why I'm stacking a deck like this. There's more. There's more Epstein. We're going to keep it going because we got to go to Washington real quick. We got this call right in front of Trump. We got a reporter that asked the African Senate, will you nominate him for the Nobel Peace Prize? The actual same thing that, what was that? I think that was Netanyahu nominated Trump yesterday for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Miss, I have one question for the African presidents and one question for President Trump. As you can see, Mr. President Trump, all the African presidents are very happy with your efforts to bring peace in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. My question to you is, today you are making history by receiving 5 African presidents and showing the interest of the United States to collaborate and to work close with the African nations. African continent is watching, African youth is watching, and this new approach that your administration is taking to deal with African nation, not only based on help, but in doing business that everybody can win, is really much appreciated for all the Africans. My question is, are you planning, Mr. President, in the future to travel to Africa to see firsthand all those countries in Africa, all those potential that those countries have? And for the African leaders, my question is, as you can see, President Trump is working to bring peace, not only in Africa, but also in the world. Are you all considering to nominate President Trump for a Nobel Prize Peace?
Prize Peace?
That's a very nice reporter. I got to meet her 2 weeks ago when we had the Congo and Rwanda, and we had some other people up from Africa. And I was the first time, but that's very nice. I appreciate the questions. Very nice, actually. Would you like to, at some point I would like to go to Africa, absolutely. We're going to see what the schedule is, but at some point I would like to do that very much. Would you like to give a fast answer, please?
No, we got to keep on going, bro. That was enough right there. We got more Epstein stuff coming up. They want to hear part of that. That was cool. I know my people. I know y'all. Come on, we're going to give y'all something. We're going to give y'all this. Make sure that we balance it all out. Like a balanced nutritional breakfast. That's what we're doing right now. We got to go on over to LA real quick. After this clip, I'm in the comments. Los Angeles, Ventura County, where there's been a standoff between immigration agents and protesters. News crew was hit with less than lethal, what's the rubber bullets? I'm not going front. I like to see when that happens because I think it's funny. They be like, ow, ooh. It's like when your mother hit you with the switch when you was a little kid. Ooh, ah, no, mommy, no. And you're trying to block everything, but you really can't. So it's kind of like that. It reminds me of that. And plus, you know, this reporter ain't going to be out there messing around with no National Guard when they got them rubber bows coming at you. I won't be getting no black and blues on my body. I'll be reporting it right from here. Let's keep on going, you guys. It's Friday morning. How y'all feeling this morning? How y'all feeling this Saturday morning? Check this out. Let's go.
Still a very active scene here in Camarillo. Let's get right to Chris Christie, live at Air 7. Chris, how's it looking right now?
Mark and Colleen, you're taking a live look at Laguna Road here in Camarillo, where you can see a bit of a standoff here, a skirmish line between ICE officials.
Dude is up there with a wheelchair. He is protesting electronically in a mobile wheelchair.
Officials and other immigration authorities facing off with protesters at the Glass House marijuana farm here in Camarillo after a major raid took place earlier this afternoon. It happened about 3.5 hours ago, just wrapped up in the last few minutes, although you can still see it. We'll see a number of detainees right there next to that building. We've seen a number of U.S. Marshals buses picking up detainees and heading down the 101 freeway. It was a major raid, as you mentioned, and now a major confrontation as they encounter these protesters who have showed up to protest this immigration operation. We have seen two major skirmish lines separating two sets of protesters. At times, there have been smoke grenades deployed right here along Laguna Road, and a lot of screaming and yelling, and even a couple of arrests, as far as we can tell. You can see this is still an active situation, and again, a situation we're going to continue to keep an eye on. Reporting live from Air 7, I'm Chris Christie, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Now that was a real life the sheriff situation. They said that you plant it, but you can't grow it, man. So yeah, you guys see that farm right there. They said it was a ganja farm. You guys know what ganja is, right? I won't get in trouble for saying that. So basically what happened is they rolled on those people that was working at that ganja farm, and guess what they got? They got locked up. They might let them out. As you saw, there was a bunch of them on the floor there with their possessions in the front of them in those brown bags, and they were about to take that ride of shame. Sucks being them, not me. Sucks, and I hate the fact that people are going through that right now, because I think that the farm workers probably should be having a little bit more leniency. What we got to say about this in these comments right here? Salute, player. Yeah, lock up the criminals who came here illegally, says Late Night. We got Ghost Samurai, says, yo, 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 good morning, cyber dorks. It's Friday. Weekend is here. Okay, what y'all got? Kendra Walker says 872/28. Don't even worry about the likes. It's okay. Y'all do us a favor. She's not playing around. Go ahead and double tap that screen and get those likes up if you appreciate the content that we're giving you guys right now, because we ain't even scratched the surface. We got so much more to go, so much more to give. I've been doing this since 3 o'clock in the morning, stacking the information, also making sure that everything that we have is up to date, because I know that just happened. If I go to sleep and the next thing you know, something happened, gotta get up and you gotta make sure that you pull that old clip and put the new one in there. Excuse me. Let's keep on moving forward, you guys. But yes, we appreciate it, and we know that it's hot out here for a pimp when you're trying to get the money for the rent. So we don't ask for too much when it comes down to the bread, even though we don't turn down nothing but our collars, and we appreciate it. But what we really like to do around here is ask to get those likes up, because what that does is make more people get aware of the show, brings more people over here, and that's what really gets those numbers up. Also, if you appreciate the content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become a member, hit that post notification bell so you know that when we're on. I'm getting right back to work. I'm not going to play. We got to get over here to New York, where I am. They found a whole bunch of scandals going on. The ex-chief who was fired, he says he didn't leave by choice, but by a corrupt police force. Oh, we're going to go to New York right now, and that's why you're still on deck right now, Kathy Joku Hoku, because you're responsible for your police force and everything that happens when it comes out of New York. So let's go.
Several new lawsuits paint a messy picture between the NYPD under Mayor Adams.
All right, the suits accuse Adams and his top allies in the NYPD of running a department where corruption and retaliation ran rampant.
Fox
That's department, not apartment, but we understand.
Morgan McKay's live in the newsroom. What we're learning tonight, Morgan?
Steve and Natasha, the allegations in these 4 lawsuits are reminders of the tumultuous time in the NYPD last year, which forced a former NYPD Commissioner Edward Caban and others to resign. And it comes just as Mayor Eric Adams is ramping up his re-election campaign. Now, these 4 new lawsuits come from 4 former police chiefs who allege that several of Mayor Adams' close allies in the NYPD encouraged bribes in return for promotions and allege they faced retaliation after they spoke up. Wow. They also allege that Mayor Adams knew what was going on and approved it. In one lawsuit, former Chief of Detectives James Essig alleges that former Police Commissioner Caban sold promotions for up to $15,000. He also alleges that Caban is currently under federal investigation for selling these discretionary promotions. Caban resigned last year after his home was searched and his phones were seized by federal investigators. He has not faced any charges, though. Essig claims that former Police Commissioner Keyshawn Sewell defended him before she resigned, but after she left, Essig alleges that Caban and former Chief of Department Jeffrey Madry, acting on behalf of the mayor, told him he would have to take a pay cut or retire. Essig hired. In another lawsuit, former Chief Joseph Veneziano alleges that Madry retaliated against him after he investigated overtime abuse and alleges that Madry would sign falsified overtime slips. He says he also assisted with an outside probe into Madry's conduct and says he faced retaliation by being transferred to the Transit Bureau.
And this is also the same Madry who was brought up on charges for allegedly SA or whatever paying off another officer for SA favors as well as overtime increases.
Madry resigned in December after federal investigators raided his home following allegations he forced a subordinate to perform sex acts on him in exchange for overtime pay. In a statement, a spokesperson for Adams says, quote, the Adams administration holds all city employees, including leadership at the NYPD.
Whatever. We know you out of it anyway. You making it easy for this other guy to come in the game. Made the playing field so crazy with a lot of crazy things that you said it doesn't even matter. Guess what? It ain't even over with Popo. And y'all watching this show right now, y'all cool with me, but y'all got a lot of bad news about you. So I gotta report it, Popo. Don't come knocking on my door or messing with me when I'm walking. I know how y'all get down, and I be seeing y'all hollering at me because I'm getting a little bit of light over here. So don't play around with your boy. If you did it, we got to talk about it. Now we got to keep on moving forward because we got another situation with y'all. That's right. Now we got dozens of cops on the force. And guess what happened? They're on the force as well as the streets. And these officers were not supposed to be on the force because guess what? They failed their psych evaluations and they also lied during their application process. New York, oh my God. Now we wondering why we getting all these problems with these police officers and all these crazy situations. Now that the onion and the layers are being peeled back, now it's starting to reveal itself.
A group of rookie officers is on their way out, according to the NYPD. Sources tell us they never should have been hired in the first place.
So why were they then patrolling our streets? Investigator Masa Saidi getting some answers and both sides of the story tonight.
Tonight, stunning news. Dozens of cops allegedly unfit to serve on the force and on the street. The
And y'all thought I was playing when I told you I see a bunch of them on the streets that can't even fit their hat. Y'all like, what is he talking about? They can't even fit their damn hat. Their head look like a little peanut. Their head look like it's waffling around in there. How are you going to arrest somebody when you can't even, oh my God, you weigh about 120 pounds. That's the reason why we got certain weight on certain police officers and certain agility and certain things that they can do. Not these little DEI inclusive police officers that you guys have been hiring. I knew that there was something up. You get on the train, all you see them doing is playing on their phone and doing this. Yeah, all they doing is waiting for 8 o'clock or whatever time their shift is over so they can go home. Not really caring about securing anything. What you guys got for me over here? Oh, snap, beautiful from Washington State. Is live. Okay, what we got here? We got Danaka says they'll just end up at another precinct and you're so right, or another state, and gonna use the fact that they've been an officer before. You're right about that. Ray Lewis, I like that one. Everybody always messes with me with that. What's up, people? What else you got over here? 60 kilograms a gang. Be like, okay, I like what you're saying. Love from North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Thank you so much, Joe. I got to get more work in because I don't know. Y'all like hearing me talk, but y'all also like the clips. So let's get the rest of this out because this is crazy.
Investigation sparked after it was revealed the recruits failed their psych evaluation. Looking deeper, the sources say the department discovered they also allegedly lied during the application process. For example, failing to disclose prior license suspensions, arrests, even criminal convictions. According to the NYPD, the officers were initially told they were barred, quote, receiving final notices of disqualification, yet somehow they were still hired. Here's former NYPD Lieutenant Darren Porcher.
If the allegations are investigated and they're deemed to be credible or quote-unquote true, then these individuals should not be police officers.
An NYPD spokesperson says the department was not legally allowed to hire these individuals and was forced to inform them they could no longer continue. But
continue. How many slipped through the cracks? How many already out there? How many been on the force from the prior year, the prior hires? Let's really get into it if you really want to think about it, because that's when you really start to wonder, Is that the reason why that other cop did blah, 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 or just walked away from me, didn't even know the laws? Because after a while, they're supposed to know the numbers, the code, and everything. They don't learn it because they don't know it. What you guys got for me? It's a nice walking around and knowing that cops fear me. Okay. Casey says, Long Island, come see me anytime. 100. Oh, y'all about to get it in the areas. What are the violated screens? Okay, what else you got? How many? Okay, exactly, Bugatti. Thank you so much, Rebecca. We're gonna keep on moving forward. And Rebecca, thank you for staying on topic because we got some people up in here fighting. I don't know what y'all got going on, but stop that. Let's get back on topic, you guys. Let's stay focused on what we got going on here. We've come here for the news. I understand sometimes the views might make you mad and make you want to get into it, but that's good, and that just makes you want to get your point across. Let's do it in the chat. Let's not get angry with each other. Let's go back and forth with strong debate and get your views across in the chat. Don't threaten each other, because I've actually seen people trading addresses in here before. Y'all don't play around. Y'all really be going in. We're gonna stay in New York for a little while because she, like I told you, she's been a royal mess ever since she's been our governor. Yeah, Kathy Jokel Hochul. Now we're going to go over to the point where her press secretary resigns after she's been replaced and put on leave. This is like the third person in this lady's administration. Oh my God, what's going on in this city? And then you wonder why are the streets the way that they are?
For Governor Hochul's office has resigned. The press secretary for Governor Hochul's office has resigned. A representative from the governor's office confirming to News Channel 13 that Avi Small has stepped down. Earlier this week, we reported that a staff member with the governor's office was placed on leave due to sexual harassment allegations. The governor said she cannot comment on an ongoing investigation. Small's LinkedIn profile says he had been serving as the governor's press secretary since July of 2023.
Yeah, you know why? Because she is not supposed to be the governor. She was slid into position after Cuomo messed up. And then she's still in position because of DEI. We're not stupid. We know what's going on over here. Good looking, and thank you for the $1.99 super chat, Davey at the Jers. Thank you so much, everybody. Y'all should be like Davey. Go ahead and give her all the super chats you like. Come on, let me get on over here to Miami. Ooh, I can't wait to go back to Miami and do my vacation, because that's where I'm going. Man has been arrested for violating and doing the R word after he was found and chased and held down until the police caught him. That's right. This fool thought that he was going to do something to one of our beautiful children out here, and that the community wasn't going to step in and do that vigilante justice. Guess what? Man, they chased this fool for like almost a mile or two. Watch this right here. Come on, Miami. Y'all got some explaining to do. Y'all got some, how Ricky Ricardo will say, you got some splaining to do. You got some splaining to do, Lucy.
Only on Local 10, exclusive video showing the arrest of a sexual assault suspect. We've learned a group of people tracked him down until police could get to the scene. That man is accused of luring a little girl into a park bathroom and raping her.
It is awful, and he is being held on no bond after facing a judge. And Local 10's Hannah Yashivi is live in Northwest Miami-Dade with the very latest. Hannah.
Christian, Janice, this all happened at Gwen Cherry Park, and we're now standing about a 7-minute walk from the park. This is exactly the neighborhood where deputies arrested that man after people at the park followed him, ran after him, chased him, and pinned him right here for deputies to arrest him. A combination of neighbors and people who were at the park chased Antoine Johnson all the way to Northwest 69th Terrace. Good. Deputies here from the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office quickly handcuffing him and putting him in the back of a cruiser.
Good.
Do you understand the extent of the no contact order?
Yes. That's 18-year-old Antoine Johnson answering to a judge yesterday after being accused of violently raping an 11-year-old girl in a public bathroom at Gwen Cherry Park in Northwest Miami-Dade.
And it is a no bond, period.
Investigators believe the man asked the young girl to go into a woman's restroom to get him toilet paper, saying the men's restroom was out of it. But cops say Johnson followed her inside, grabbed her, and forced the child into a woman's stall, covering her mouth to rape her. Then he moved her to the ground to rape her a second time, as she pleaded for him to let her leave. Just as that was happening, another woman walked in. Johnson quickly ran away, and the lady yelled at the people outside that he had just raped the girl. Many of them started chasing the teenager.
I know that y'all put hands on this fool, because I see the dude with the dreads right there. He looked like he peed off. I know they put hands on him.
A gentleman on top of our house on 7th Street said he's over there. And I saw a crowd of people come from one way and some cars coming from the other way.
A few blocks over from the park, that angry crowd detained him until deputies arrived.
I can tell that they was beating the young man.
Back over at Gwen Cherry Park, the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office and paramedics rushed in to help the little girl. People at the park extremely angry at what happened. They were there for youth football and cheer practice.
You see how big that boy is right there? You see that big boy right there? Look like a linebacker. Somebody said, spark up the wood chipper again. I want to make sure I got that. Casey, you know I don't play with you when it comes down to this. Casey says, spark up the wood chipper again. Kendra's like bugging right now. Me too. If he gets minimum sentence, I'll lose my mind, says Sean. We got deals and downloads that said the world's sickest people. Yes, wow, this is disgusting. And you are right, Lawrence. We got David that says he's covering it because it's news. Why are you mad? It is news and people didn't know about this. And guess what? From now on, y'all walk your children to the bathroom, especially with all of this stupid DEI and inclusion crap that's going on. Why do we show stuff like this? Because sometimes it takes for an incident to happen for people to understand what we need to do. Walk your daughter to the bathroom, go inside that bathroom, let a woman curse at you for you being in that bathroom if you're a man and say, excuse me, you walk out and then you let your daughter do what she gotta do. We put fat on each other's brains over here. That's why we expose stories like this. We're gonna keep on moving forward. And we all for justice, the ass whipping way. If we catch him, that's why.
A former classmate of Johnson's tells us his behavior always seemed off.
He wasn't really in the right headset, the mindset at 9th grade, when I was in 9th grade, so hearing about it, it's disgusting.
I do not feel bad for this young man.
And detectives say Johnson confessed his actions to them and he issued an apology. He can't have any type of contact with that girl and he's being held on no bond. As for that little 11-year-old girl, she went to a nearby hospital. She is expected to be okay physically, but as you can imagine, she has a very long road to recovery mentally.
All right, you know what I'm gonna say. I'm rocking with Casey on this one. Me and Casey, go ahead and let him know what we about to do on this one, what we would do. Go ahead, everybody pay attention to what Casey gonna put in the comments right now. I'm gonna let him do what he gotta do. Casey, you run it right now. Let them know what should happen right now to homeboy, as far as all that's concerned. What we feel that need to happen with him. Go ahead, Casey, let him know. What should happen with him? Go on, Casey, let him know. Because I'm about to get to this next clip, but y'all watch what Casey write. You know what's going on here. I'm about to go throw up a MAGA turns on Trump over Epstein scandal. Right? Yeah, I already seen you put it up there too. Wood chipper. He said spark the wood chipper up 100, 100. Exactly. And guess what? Even though she didn't lose her life, she's going through a very traumatic time at this moment. We want to pray for the little girl and for her parents and everybody that went through this situation. We want to also pray that we have more people that come together as a community and do the same exact thing that these people in this community did, which is find and locate this man, Lord, and get him to the place that he needs to be. We ask for strength in her healing, and we ask that her family can come together and help her out in these times. We ask this in Jesus' name, and we pray. Amen. That's right. Amen. And hopefully we don't have to keep on praying for situations like that. Now, like I said, this situation is where people are like feeling as if they're about to go and Earl. We call that throw up. We got this MAGA turns on Trump over the Epstein, what they're calling scandal. Everyone is basically saying about how the DOJ came out and said there's no list. There's a little bit of pushback from MAGA on the other side, who's basically saying that they want to know a little bit more. So we got a little bit of information, of course, that we're going to take from MSNBC because we play all sides here. And we like to do this because we get information, especially from people like Chris Hayes, even if you don't like them. But then we have time to go investigate the facts to see if it's true or not.
Diehards, the people that spend all day online talking about Donald Trump. Some of the president's most strident supporters are furious at his Department of Justice after concluded there would be no further disclosures of Jeffrey Epstein-related documents, and that, basically, everyone should just drop it and move on. This comes after his Attorney General, Pam Bondi, basically spent months hyping some sort of big reveal from the Department of Justice. Epstein, of course, the disgraced New York financier who died in federal custody back in 2019 while facing child sex trafficking charges related to what prosecutors says was a years-long scheme to abuse young women. A new memo from the DOJ reiterates the department's position that Epstein was not murdered, noting, quote, after a thorough investigation, FBI investigators concluded that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide in his cell. They even released nearly 11 hours of security camera footage from outside Epstein's cell that night of his death. Although that will likely do little to quell the ongoing conspiracies, especially considering the video is missing an entire minute. The DOJ attributes that to a long-standing glitch with the system. Despite all the Epstein didn't kill himself memes and the never-ending, increasingly baroque conspiracies, the MAGA faithful are really mad about this part of the memo. Quoting it here. This systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. There was no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as part of his actions. We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. Now, that claim that there was no shadowy client list, ostensibly containing evidence that Epstein was secretly blackmailing political and financial and Hollywood elites, certainly seemed to contradict what Trump's own Attorney General said on television back in February.
One of the things that you alluded to, and this is something Donald Trump has talked about, the DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that.
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. She did just say that, right? We just heard her correctly. Now her Department of Justice says no such list exists. But again, this wasn't just Pam Bondi misspeak.
All right, I'm not gonna let you keep on running with that because I got more to stack. Also, just so you guys know, she did try to make a rebuttal and say, I was saying that the files, along with MLK, JFK, and the Epstein files, all of those are sitting on my desk. That's what I was trying to say. I've made bad decisions at work. I've done things at work sometimes where it's like, yo, y'all gotta hold me down today. I done messed up everything. Just don't fire me. I'll be better tomorrow. You ever had one of those bad days at work? Can you call that or chalk that up to a bad day at work saying it like that? Or do you guys think that there was an actual list that they're covering up? I want to know what you guys think about this. Not at my desk. Not on my desk, says KYTL. I'm a KLTY. Not on my desk. Okay, we all heard it. Okay, Liberty and Justice says, fact checker, LOL, you don't know how to spell, think you need help yourself. You're talking to me. Sometimes I do mess up on spelling if you're talking to me, Liberty and Justice. Okay, I do make a mistake sometimes here and there. I don't know if you're talking to me though. What else you got? We got McKinsey that says guilty. We got Benjamin Zimmer that says there's definitely a list. I got some more people in the next clips that actually say the same thing. We got more. We're not going nowhere. What I want you guys to do for me right now is double tap that screen to get those likes up because we got so much information and maybe more people might want to know what we got going on over here. Let's get on to Kyiv before we get into some more Jeffrey Epstein information because we got this chilling moment that a Ukrainian intelligence officer was pow-powed, assassinated in broad daylight, in cold blood. Check this out, you guys. He looked like he was just like Scooby-Dooby-Doo, going to get some groceries and going to chill with my family. But somebody else had a different thought for him, and they were waiting in the wings. And yeah, that was the last time he ever went to shop for groceries because we got a situation here. Check this out, you guys. Again, it says graphic content. Of course, want to make sure you guys understand that. Children and anybody watching, probably don't want them watching this right now. And no, not much audio. Chilling moment, Ukrainian intelligence officer assassinated. Videos emerged purporting that shows the moment of security Ukrainian. Wow, that's fast. Exited the building while carrying bags. Here our victim steps out of voices heard describing the surveillance video. Here from here the killer will come running, he says, as a man emerges from the bushes. Here he comes. Pro-Putin media outlets are reporting that the officers were responsible for clandestine operations. The SBU press department told the Kyiv Independent that the murder happened on July the 10th. The victim's name has not been made public. This comes as Russia has ramped up strikes on Ukraine, straining Ukrainian air defenses. Hundreds of Ukrainian drones and more than a dozen missiles rained down on Kyiv early Thursday, killing 2 people in second massive airstrikes on the country in 2 days. Thursday's attack came a day after Russia launched a record 728 drones at Ukraine. So as we see, it's like behind an interior war going on. It's urban warfare going on, and it's going on everywhere, you guys. When it comes down to over there, they have no limits on what they got going on. What's good, Liberty and Justice? Could you run down the sound, please? Thank you. Thank you for telling me that. He's copying AYN. What else you got? There's a list, but it's being used as evidence in Gustagia. Maxwell appealed it and is being stored in South New York District. Okay. The Aries says that suit is sharp. Thank you so much. It's one of these like athletic joints. I think I'm like, oh, it's actually a little, it's a little breathable. This one right here. It's like a little comfortable they got for me over here. Now I can like move around. I feel like a sweatsuit. It's pretty cool. Thank you so much for the compliment. And thank you for the audio tips. Any tips that you guys can tell me about, if you hear clicking and things like that. I used to get angry about that, but I like to know because I want to make sure that you guys are getting good audio, video, and everything. So that there's no sense of me doing all of this if there's certain things that's going wrong. But also understand, because we play various clips, their audio goes up and down, so I have to catch it, and sometimes I'm not able to catch it. So thank you for helping me as much as possible. That's why you guys are not fans, you're co-hosts. I cannot do this without you at all. Comments? What would I be doing up in here? Just playing a whole bunch of videos and talking to myself. Next thing you know, yeah, they're going to come get me with the white jacket. So trust me, this is not just me playing clips. Everybody say, oh, you can play those clips yourself. No, you can't, because your algorithm ain't nothing like mine, and you don't have the community like we have over here at our bottom line. And that's what we do over here. So now we're going to keep on moving forward, because y'all thought it was over. No. I got some information and some stuff for Detroit. Sad situation where a single mom to 6 children at a McDonald's worker for 15 years was to death. Yes, sadly, yesterday, this beautiful lady lost her life at work. One of her employees felt that it was necessary to take her life, and it was a terrible situation, guys.
A breaking story we have been following the last few hours out of East Point, where police say an employee stabbing her own manager to death. This all happening inside a McDonald's on 9 Mile. That's where we find Fox 2's Camille Amiri joining us with the latest. Camille, a lot coming out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. We just spoke with the victim's daughter, who is absolutely beside herself. You're going to be hearing from her later today on our newscast, Fox 2 News, at 5 o'clock. But first of all, let's break down what happened, and I think you've got some video that you can show. This was around 8 o'clock this morning here at the McDonald's in East Point on 9 Mile. Yes. There was some sort of verbal altercation between this manager and an employee who, incidentally, the daughter says they were friends, that they were friendly. The employee goes home, according to police, gets a knife, comes back, stabs the manager. We've learned her name is Jennifer Harris, 39 years old. 6 children, a single mom working here for 15 years, stabs her to death. And then somebody in the drive-thru, this is happening in the area of where the employees are working in the drive-thru section of the fast food restaurant. Somebody going through the drive-thru, a CPL holder, sees everything happen. He shoots his gun in the air to try to stop everything. Unfortunately, he is not successful in doing so. But as the suspect is running out of the McDonald's, the police say that the man with the gun actually ran after her and held her at gunpoint until police arrived. She was arrested. Unfortunately, Jennifer Harris, 39 years old, died once she arrived at a hospital, multiple stab wounds. We did talk to an employee. Here's what she had to say about this horrible tragedy.
She left for 5 minutes. She came back with a mask on her face. And the only thing I seen was her hands. That's how I knew it was her. And she started stabbing her, and I ran for help and basically asking everybody, like, help or whatever. I tried to stop her. It was no stopping her. She stabbed her everywhere.
Jesus Christ.
Just an absolutely horrible, horrible situation. Again, coming up tonight at 5 o'clock, you'll be hearing from Jennifer Harris's oldest daughter. The family, these kids are ages 5 to 20, 6 children altogether. They were here earlier, just moments ago, absolutely beside themselves, really not understanding any of this and why this happened. They said that their mom, they called her, everyone's nickname for her was Jamma, that she got along with everybody. She always had a smile on her face, and that the suspect, they said, was always friendly to the children and giving them stickers and always laughing and smiling with them. So the family is having an incredibly hard time processing this. Of course, we're going to continue to follow the story, but that is the latest.
Yeah, we're going to follow it too, you guys. I actually got some updated information on this. I'll be playing on our next episode just to keep us up to date. But of course, our thoughts, our prayers go out to her as well as the family in this terrible, tragic time. And we hope that they can be strong and make it through this. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you, guys. Amen. Terrible situation in 9 Mile out in Detroit, you guys. Also, get my suits from all over, by the way. Someone asked that question. If you guys want, you can go check out the video. It's a live that actually shows places that we used to get our suits from, as well as places that are available now to get them from. I'm also going to do a little more experimenting on online to see how those suits actually work. So I go everywhere because I have to wear a suit every day. So sometimes I might catch a bad one, sometimes I'll catch a good one. So, we get lucky sometimes. So you might be walking by and see a clearance rack with a suit. Pick it up, put it in the closet, tailor it, see what's going on. Keep on moving forward because now we got doom. No, we don't. We got this crooked officer. Why are you trying to get me, crooked officer? Yeah, crooked officer in Detroit. Come on. Now we got a crooked officer because we got evidence that shows that this Detroit police officer stole $600 from a woman while his body cam was rolling. Talk about cojones, right? He got some cojones on him. But you know what I begin to think, guys? I think that people are so used to cameras that they don't even care anymore. And a lot of these crazy situations, I really feel that people look at life like simulation, like Grand Theft 6. They just get off the game and come out in life and act the same way.
Tonight, Detroit police say one of their own officers stole hundreds of dollars from a suspect in broad daylight.
The alleged theft took place while the officer was in uniform, and the department says the evidence against him comes from his own equipment.
7 investigator Ross Jones is revealing how the alleged theft was discovered and why that officer is still being paid tonight.
Our IA lieutenant took a look at the video and immediately recognized that we had a criminal act here.
Commander Michael McGinnis would not have believed what an officer in Detroit's 6th Precinct is now accused of doing if he hadn't seen it on the officer's own body cam.
I was kind of floored that you actually had an officer who has his camera activated who decided to steal money from a citizen.
We are not naming the officer, who has not been charged with any crimes, but the department says the evidence right now is strong.
It ain't the first time. What was they doing before the cameras? And what they do when they turn those cameras off?
Strong enough to have suspended him and arrested him inside the 6th Precinct just last month. What he did, according to DPD, happened here on March 7th near the corner of Joy and Evergreen, when a team of 3 officers observed what they believed to be a narcotics handoff. 2 of the suspects involved drove off, police say, and when officers stopped their vehicle, they found drugs inside.
Those individuals were found to be in possession of narcotics, and they were arrested.
Both the driver and passenger were taken to the Detroit Detention Center. After they were released, the female passenger would report that there was money missing from her purse, about $600 worth. She filed a citizen's complaint with the Office of the Chief Investigator, who pulled up the officer's body camera.
See, first of all, they never thought that she was going to file that complaint because they figured, well, it was D-rug money, so she's not going to file no complaint. Guess what? Dun, 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 dun. Filed the complaint, and your commanding officer said, let me see your camera real quick. Yeah, let me get that off you.
You can see on camera an envelope of money contained in that purse. 1 minute you see it, next second it's gone.
And it wasn't declared on the inventory?
It wasn't listed on the inventory, it wasn't placed on evidence, it wasn't documented in a police report, it was stolen.
I'm just happy that the body-worn camera situation worked. I've been lobbying because a lot of officers turned off the body-worn cameras.
In his role overseeing the department, Commissioner Ricardo Moore says he has too often watched officers shut off body cams during stops or arrests, or never turn them on in the first place. That an officer's alleged theft was caught by his own body camera? Well, in a way, Moore says, it's progress.
I like what y'all got going on here. I ain't gonna let this slide. If they had his cameras on activated, as if, okay, even cops stealing, haha, not enough made from repo, I guess. What else you got? Mark says, Mark Grisham is his name. If an officer steals from you, you should be able to put cuffs on them yourself, says Mig. I like that one. I really do like that one. Tommy says, Tommy Boy, and in the CZ related Columbia Young. Okay, I don't know what you mean by that, but okay, we're gonna keep on going. Let's try to stay on topic over here. Let's keep on going, y'all.
Sure that they'll do a very thorough investigation, not only on this situation, but the officer in general, to see why was he so comfortable in allowing the body-worn camera.
You've seen this happen once now. You have to be worried that this is not the first time.
Oh, yeah, of course I'm worried. I wouldn't be doing my job if I wasn't worried.
DPD is now conducting a wider review of the officer's body camera history, looking for anything else like the alleged behavior that triggered this arrest. And if any other citizens have had a similar experience, the commander hopes they come forward.
Okay, true story time. Bugatti used to be younger, of course. I used to be on the block with the wrong crowd doing the wrong thing sometimes. So one time I was on this one block, I was just hanging out. Had about $300 in my pocket. 3 $100 bills. That's right. 1, 2, 3 $100 bills, right? So I'm hanging out. I'm on the corner. Next thing you know, the police roll up. Hey, get up against the wall. They put me up against the wall. I go like whatever. They search me. They don't find nothing. They go back in their car. Something tells me to check my pockets and look around. So I'm checking my pockets. I look. I got $100, but I had 300. The police officer takes the $100 bill, gives it to his partner in front of me, and says, and they drove off. He says, one for me and one for him. You think I was going to say something? Nope, didn't say nothing. They actually left me alone a little while after that. That's how they do in certain neighborhoods, depending on what you're doing. Think that ain't going on in different places? Lucky I'm not dealing with that crap anymore, hanging around with that crowd anymore. Boy, when I was 19 years old, you learn a lot when you were a kid. So you stay away from stuff like that. But guess what? You learn how it could possibly happen. Yeah, got me for $200. What you got? Capitalism at its finest from its supported finest. Alex says, I'll take things and didn't happen for $300. Alex says, I'll take things that didn't happen for $300. It actually did happen. Okay, we're going to keep on moving forward because now we got this ICE that's touting 30 arrests in 24 hours. They're slamming sanctuary cities for wasting time as well as money. So basically ICE is saying if we can do all of these arrests in 24 hours, how come sanctuary cities are acting like they can't do what we're doing? As you can see, they're really cracking down right now all over the country. You see what's happening here. People going back and forth to court, getting detained. But they're basically saying, look how fast that we can fill up a cell versus what y'all complaining and saying that y'all can do. This is ICE's progress versus what's been going on in a sped up time lapse. And I want to know, what do you guys think about this? I want to know what you guys think about this. Sadly, we got to turn the music down because we don't want to get, even that little beat right there gets you messed up. What I really want you to concentrate on is the amount of people that they're actually arrested, and they're showing you how fast they can build up. Look at this. This is all in one day, 24 hours right here. This is all 24 hours. Started off with empty cells, you guys. So, perfect example, and again, you know how we always have to show the receipts. Nowadays, people keep on saying, yo, you said that, but let's see the receipts. Show the proof. That was the receipts right there. They basically saying, how come you guys can't get rid of as much illegal immigrants as we can? Good question, ain't it? What y'all got for me? They're not supposed to be here anyway, says Maisha. What else we got over here? We got Kalani says, doesn't MAGA back the blue? I'm getting mixed signals, LMAO. Jeffrey says, it's what we need. What else we got over here? We got Daniel that says, who is going to do all their jobs? American citizens? Definitely not. You're right about that, but what I say is, raise the wage and more people will come to work. Let's keep on moving, y'all. We got to come back on over to New York and Queens, as this man that's said to be sentenced in a hammer attack on this woman. This happened a few years ago. I know you guys probably heard about it, where this man was coming into the train station, kicks the lady down the stairs and beats her at least 13 times with a hammer. Well, he's finally going to court right now and he's getting this just due. And also, she's fully recovered. But of course, she had to show up. I want you guys to see what goes on here in the way that, and again, no fear mongering, but what's actually going on in the city. This is a situation right here where this actually happened to this woman, where she got hit in a hammer attack on a subway.
I still can't watch that video. This woman who was
sentencing after 3 years for the man convicted in this brutal attack.
He was seen on camera hitting a woman with a hammer multiple times. This happened on a staircase at a Queens subway station.
I still can't watch that video. This woman who was critically hurt in the attack is now speaking out about her injuries as her attacker learns his fate in court. And these are live pictures from inside the courtroom as the proceedings are underway and the judge gets ready to render a sentence in this case. Eyewitness News reporter Lindsay Tuckman is live in Kew Gardens, Queens with that story. Lindsay, it still shakes me to see that video.
Yeah, Sam, Lauren, Charlene, it's frightening, it's sickening, and it's something that subway riders should not have to be frightened about. But indeed, it did happen to one woman, and she will be speaking in court today ahead of the sentencing of the 60-year-old man who was found to have hit her in the head repeatedly with a hammer. He will be learning his fate today. Now, the victim did enter the courtroom earlier this morning with the Queens District Attorney. That's 60-year-old Nina Rothschild, who entered into this courtroom 3 years after the attack with a calm smile on her face, getting ready to share her story and to talk about how the assault impacted her life since then, ahead of this sentencing. And she will be speaking in front of the very man who hit her in the head. That man, also present, who is also now 60 years old, William Blunt, you see him there. He is and has been in custody. He entered the courtroom rather stone-faced, wearing a shirt and tie and in handcuffs. Now, the assault, which was caught on surveillance video, happened in February of 2022 at the Queens Plaza subway station. Rothschild was on her way home from work when Blunt, who was seen walking behind her with a cane, approached her from behind, kicked her down the stairs, and then hit her in the head with a hammer, again, 13 times. He took her bag as well and ran away, but with the help of security footage, Blunt was arrested shortly after the attack, and he was eventually convicted of assault as well as robbery just this past April. Rothschild, who is a New York City Health Department worker, suffered multiple skull fractures, as you can imagine, and had to get intensive surgery from her injuries. Again, right now they are inside that courtroom. The hearing has begun, but the actual sentencing has not occurred. We do expect Rothschild to speak again, that victim impact statement. We are still waiting to hear from her ahead of this sentencing, which again has not happened yet. But after the sentencing, we do expect to hear from the Queens District Attorney as well as Rothschild again to comment on the sentencing itself. Blunt faces up to 25 years to life in prison. Happening right.
Sadly, in New York, our liberal judges, they're going to give him like 10. And he going to get like probably whatever time served for whatever. Oh, she's healthy now. She's okay. They don't care in New York. I'm telling you, long as you make it out alive, they don't care if you got one finger. Oh, yeah, you're all right. Seems like in New York, in my city, seems like they're more for the criminals than they are for the citizens. Sadly, you guys, that's just the way I feel about it. Okay, dude favors Suge Knight. He definitely did like an older Suge Knight. Pack and carry. Glad she's okay. Mad Hatter says not for nothing, but he looks like a radical M. He looks that she looks, okay. Hope it wasn't a hate crime charge. Okay, Mad Hatter, I see what you're saying. Super Luigi Daniel says that's why we have as much of these lunatics running around. We got too many crazy people, and he just sitting there he's standing there stone faced. He come out like, just stone faced, just like, you know what? He need to get the max, 25, send him to the back. All that, he's 60 years old, 65 years old, he's old now. So what? He should have thought about it before he did that. And like somebody else said, it could have been a hate crime because it do seem like he got the beard and she's Jewish. We're going to go there real quick. Let's go on over to Phoenix. I told y'all, it's hot in Phoenix. Why do you think they call it Phoenix? I used to live out there. 120 degrees it felt like. It was crazy. Couldn't even come outside in the daytime. You ain't had no AC. Are you crazy not to have no AC living in Phoenix? We got this man that was cooked on the pavement. He was being held down by the police and they were trying to, I guess, subdue him. But he was down there for so long that the pavement cooked the man's skin. He is now suing. Want you guys to know that this is some graphic footage here, and if you got any children around right now, you might want to move them away from the phone or the television screen right now. I'm telling you guys right now, because this situation right here is pretty crazy. And I personally never thought that it could possibly happen, but it did.
Officers held a man down on scorching hot pavement for more than 4 minutes. His skin literally melted and peeled off his body. Now that man is suing Phoenix PD. I'm ABC 15 Chief Investigator Dave Biskobing. We broke the story, first exposing that video back in October. Now tonight, we're back with a copy of this new lawsuit. And a warning, some images in this story are graphic.
During our record-breaking heat wave this summer, officers held this man down on the asphalt with the skin melting and peeling away from his body.
Michael Kenyon has never been charged with a crime for what happened last summer near 7th Street in McKinley. Records show police were responding to a theft call, and Michael wasn't the suspect they were looking for. And that's why he's filed a new federal lawsuit. It states Michael would ultimately spend more than 30 days in the Maricopa County Burn Center, during which he would go through a series of brutally painful procedures, including skin grafts to attempt to treat his injuries. And he continues to carry the severe scarring and disfigurement of what these officers did to him. We interviewed Michael and his attorneys back in October last year.
Sitting next to me is a young man whose skin has been burned to the 3rd degree because it was cooked on asphalt.
You feel like they cooked him on the asphalt?
Oh, they did. There's no doubt.
The lawsuit lists other cases where people were hurt or killed after they were held down on hot pavement, and it lists several specific claims, including excessive force, assault and battery, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. The lawsuit also names 4 officers: Rowan Clark, Ira Salinas Jerry, Eldebert Carreg, and Eric Jasume. After the incident, Phoenix changed their use of force policy. It now tells officers, for the first time, that they should consider Phoenix's extreme temperatures when pinning people on the ground.
Pinning them on the
I'm
ground.
Chief Investigator Dave Biskobing, ABC 15.
The tar, it's hot. Oh my, I'm telling y'all. Y'all don't think y'all thought I was playing. I used to live in this little apartment complex, right? It used to have the little railing outside where you walk by and it's a whole bunch of apartments, another apartment, kind of like the Baby Boy setup, the movie Baby Boy, where she walked all the way up the steps and there's like apartments that go down that long area. Right. But let's say you're in your apartment and you want to just go get some air real quick, or you want to see what's going on outside. You open your door in Phoenix, you step your foot, your bare foot, out on the cement to go like that, you hear from the little bit of sweat that's on your foot, you hear it sizzling, like you're sizzling or something. So you mean to tell me they held this man down for 4 minutes on hot tar that's been baking all day? Definitely that they were using that as a weapon against that man. And we hope that he gets exactly what he deserves. What we got over here? Mr. Lopez says, put down the blanket, first officer. Sheesh. Jeffrey says, at least Mad Hatter agreed. What else we got over here? Rebecca says, oh my God, scary stuff. We got Trinity up in the building that says they might consider the temperature, but will they comply? You're right about that. Like I said, sometimes they're probably going to use that as a defense. Put him on the ground. It's going to burn him up, and maybe how you going to comply faster when you burn it up? And his chest was probably directly on the ground because what? They're putting his hands behind his back. So now his chest, where that big burn was at, was directly on the asphalt. Crazy, terrible. The man that man was medium well afterwards. You said it, mister. You said it. Breaking. We got this other situation where we got some old audio of the alleged audio of President Trump threatening to put some bombs over Baghdad. Not Baghdad, but Moscow, as well as, China. This is when he was in his last administration. I thought that you guys might be interested to hear about this and what's going on with it because, what's her name? His favorite co-host, the one that he doesn't like as much, her name is Caitlin Collins. She is always happy to report any information that's negative, of course.
Of Trump then as a candidate discussing details of a private conversation that he once had with President Putin. The audio obtained by the authors of a new book that is just out today. And for context, the president has long said that Putin would never have invaded Ukraine on his watch because of something he told him once privately. Trump had never revealed what that was.
I had a very strong conversation with President Putin, and he understood, and I won't go into the great details of the conversation because nobody has to know that. But I will tell you, it never, ever would have happened.
I don't want to say it, but did they fear me? I suspect they did.
Well, tonight we're learning those details as the audio reveals that Trump says that he threatened not just President Putin, but also China's President Xi Jinping. And this is what he told donors about what exactly that conversation looked like during a private fundraiser last year.
With Putin, I said, if we go in to Ukraine, we're going to bomb the shit out of Moscow. I'm telling you, I have no choice. The public wants it. The public. It's public. So he goes like, I don't believe you. He said, no way. And I said, wait. And then he goes like, I don't believe you. But the truth is, he believed me 10%. And I told you this, he believed me 10%. Then I'm with President Xi of China. But I said the same thing to them. I said, if you go into Taiwan, I'm going to bomb the shit out of Beijing. He thought I was crazy. He said, Beijing, you're going to bomb Beijing. I said, I have no choice. I got to bomb them. We're going to bomb Beijing. And he didn't believe me either, except 10%. And 10% is what you need. In fact, 5% would have been okay too. And we never had a problem. We would have never had a problem.
The Trump campaign declined to comment on the content of what you just heard there, but
I'm trying to find out how they got that because it sounds like a phone in somebody's pocket that was on record, that they might be able to get in trouble for bringing that inside of a meeting like that they weren't supposed to do. I get where they're going with it, but we also have to think about origination. How'd you get that content? Sounds like a phone or a recording device in somebody's pocket or luggage or something like that scrambling around. Don't sound like somebody's got a recorder out in the man's face and saying, hey, we want to record what you're saying. Probably would have changed what he had to say. Let's call it what it is, y'all. Y'all can play both sides of it, but let's call it what it really is over here. Let's keep on going over here because we got more to go. And again, if you guys appreciate the content that you're checking out right now, go ahead and double tap that screen and get those likes up to let everybody know what we got going on over here at Our Bottom Line. Up-to-date conversation, up-to-date about information about money, that tariff information, anything that you guys want to know about the arrests all over the world, and up-to-date news and everything that happens. That's what we do over here, and that's what our co-hosts are so great at helping out with. We're going to keep on moving forward, you guys, because now we got this crime of the week where we got this jewelry burglary that happened on the 6th of February, but this man has just seen, they just caught up with him. And now he's been breaking into lock boxes, and he's been basically stealing from this one neighborhood, and they finally caught up to this guy, or did they? I think they're probably still looking for it. Let me stand corrected in this and let them tell it, because what he's doing is he's breaking into lock boxes while people are at work, and he's going into homes and stealing things.
Hello, I'd like to report Crime Stoppers Victoria is seeking public assistance following a burglary in Kew earlier this year. It's believed an unknown man attended a residence on Derby Street around 2:50 p.m. on Thursday, the 6th of February. He forced open a lockbox and used the keys inside to enter the unoccupied home. He rummaged through the resident's belongings before fleeing with jewellery valued at approximately $2,500. Investigators have released CCTV and images of a man they believe may be able to assist with their inquiries. He's described as Caucasian in appearance, aged between 30 and 40, with an average build, wearing a black cap, a black t-shirt and also blue shorts. He has a tattoo of a scroll on his right arm and a spider web on his left. Anyone with information, call Crime Stoppers, 1-800-333-000. The Nine Network, in association with...
Yeah, so he basically is breaking into those lock boxes. Y'all can't trust those lock boxes outside the house all the time. If anything, really double check them and make sure that they're still sturdy and that they're good. Because all you got to do is come over there, pop open that lock box, and now you've left the key to your home where somebody can go into. So you might want to double up with the, what do they call that, the Ring camera, and put on the motion. So just in case somebody does come into your real estate property or something like that, you know what's going on and they don't just get you for everything, and you can call the police and let them know what's happening. We're going to keep on moving forward, you guys. He's trying to get money to buy meth. You already know. You seen his face. He looked like Skeletor. Y'all saw that. We want to keep on going forward. What else we got? We got, what we got? Fact checker says Q is rich. Honky Town. I ain't never know about that, but that's why I played it, because y'all always know a little bit more. UK is where we came from. That's our future if we don't heed. Ooh, Dominic says, an average looking white guy. I'm glad I'm a darker one. Mad Hatter, not because of BB Netanyahu, LOL. We're going to keep on moving forward. Where we got to go now? We got to go to this elderly woman. Said that she had no idea the police were following her in a high-speed chase. This was so sweet. This lady, 90 years old, and she's being followed by the police. And they're like, open the door, get out, let me see your hands, let me see your hands. And the sad part about it was she ain't even hear nothing that they were saying.
Let me see your hands.
Hands out the window.
New this afternoon, an elderly woman led police and deputies on an early
This is in Jefferson County.
chase this morning. Authorities say the 96-year-old woman had no idea they were following her. A Jefferson County deputy tried to pull her over for not staying in one lane, but she wouldn't stop. The chase never exceeded 60 miles per hour.
High speed.
The woman finally pulled over for police on Finette Road, but didn't get out of her car. After a short standoff, police realized she was an elderly woman. The woman did not receive a ticket.
And that's it. Leave the lady alone. Leave that old lady alone. Messing with Nana like that. Y'all better be glad she can still drive at 96. They probably looked at her and said, man, how we look putting her in cuffs? Oh, you young boys. Oh, God, what are you doing? How dare you? Locked up. They won't let me out. They won't let me out. She would have been singing it a different way. That's why I said it that way. But no, let Nana go. Talking about following Nana all up the road like that. Why did the police follow Nana up the road? To let her go. Come on, leave that lady alone. Come on, y'all, leave Nana alone. We're going to keep on moving forward right now. Because now we got to go on over to a woman that was wanted in Jackson, Homicide, arrested in Adams County. Y'all heard about this one? I don't know what happened, but she was suspected to do a pow-pow and her boyfriend tried to get up out of there and drive his car, but guess what? She got caught. Come on, y'all, let's go on over. Let's keep on going, because yo, Bugatti, how much do you have today, brother? I got a lot more Epstein to come, and let's get into it.
Right now, the woman accused of killing a man on AME Logan Street in Jackson on the 4th of July is now in custody. Aziza Young was arrested this afternoon by the Adams County Sheriff's Office. We're told she will be placed into JPD custody and charged with murder and auto theft. Investigators say Young fled the scene in the victim's vehicle.
Now, y'all see her face? She like this. While she getting it, she looked just like Boogottinyc, like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, but guess what? You got locked up and they ain't letting you out. I bet that attitude gonna change when that weave come off. Yeah, after a couple of days when they gonna say, hey, look, you got to take their hair out because you can't have no weave up in this jail. When she start looking like she got about that much hair and look a whole bunch different, yeah, her whole conversation gonna change. Trust me, got a little bit of shape on you, whatever like that, but trust me, once that weave come down, you're gonna be looking just like Boogottinyc. Let's go.
Vehicle. However, her attorney says Young called 911 after 911 after the shooting in an effort to save the man's life.
I have been contacting the police since Sunday to arrange for her to come in to address any concerns, because all we knew on Sunday was that they were looking for her in questioning. And it wasn't until the police were contacted by my office and arrangements were sought to be made that the police decided to pivot today in a press conference while I am waiting for a return call from the investigator to make my client a wanted fugitive that is armed and dangerous, all of which she is not.
Jackson Police Chief Joseph Wade says this was a domestic violence situation. The victim has been identified as...
She like this and got the silver bracelets. I'll be scared to death. I'll be like this. Oh, God, it wasn't me. I swear to God, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. What? All y'all gonna hear is Bugatti. Look at Bugatti crying like a punk. It wasn't me, officer. I swear to God, it wasn't me. What? It's what? I will not be looking like Boogottinyc right now. I promise you. I don't care. He was supposed to get my nails done, and he was trying to talking about he gonna take me to some, what was that? Talking about we going to Long John Silver. I'm not no Long John. Yeah, look like one of them poses. Look at it. Look. Before I get up out of here, look.
40-year-old Adroni Triggs.
So
An update now. The woman accused of...
So yeah, she out of there. She got those one-size-fits-all silver bracelets, as y'all know. Yeah, and she chilling right now. Trust me, soon as they told her there's no weave in jail, she ain't gonna have no more glue for them tracks, and she gonna look like she got about that much hair going to court. It's over. With that orange on coming outside, coming with that orange jumpsuit on where they can't see the definition of your shape and everything is revealed. Yeah, you see how Puffy looks so much different when they don't let him get to Beijing. Imagine what she gonna look like. We're gonna keep on moving forward, you guys. What y'all got for me over here? One size fits all. Silver bracelets. It's lockup time and it's shitty. That's right, she's gonna get locked up. Y'all saw that Kate. Y'all, she had a little bit of wagon back there, right? But guess what? Only a female gonna be able to enjoy it unless she gonna get some trailer visits, because she ain't going nowhere for a long time. We got to keep on moving forward, you guys, because we want to know why the government flip-flopped on this release on the Epstein story. Told you we got more information on Epstein, and y'all like, how much do you have today, Bugatti? Look here, we ringing the rag out, so I ain't got that much y'all ain't gonna say, oh, you didn't do this, you didn't cover that. We're covering everything from all aspects.
Is to be drawn here. And is this a messaging problem? Did they overpromise before they knew what the documents would show? Here to weigh in is Tom Fenton, Judicial Watch president, and Molly Hemingway, the Federalist editor-in-chief and Fox News contributor. Tom, here's what Kash Patel said about that Epstein client list shortly after he was nominated as FBI Director. Watch.
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it.
That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. What the hell are the House Republicans doing? They have the majority. You can't get the list? Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are.
Tom, he sounded pretty definitive there, so what changed?
I think they decided for political purposes they didn't want to include the individuals who are on these lists and put them in the public domain. And they were concerned that some of them may not have done something warranting the disclosure. I mean, that's the most charitable interpretation. You know, but there is a list. There's no doubt. I mean, they talk about in the memo they wrote, well, there's no incriminating client list. Well, what does that mean? I want the non-incriminating client list. And of course, a client list is a term of art, right? Where are his associates? Where is the list of contacts? You know, we asked under our FOIA lawsuit, Pam Bondi, give us the documents that you say you were looking at. Give us documents about the release of these documents. You said the FBI was obstructing the release. They came back to us and said, we have nothing.
Molly.
Well, this is a proxy for what we've seen with so many big stories throughout the years where the American people just want to know what's going on with
whatever
assassination attempts, you know, whether it's the one in Butler on Trump or the one that was successful against JFK, the Russia collusion hoax, the situation with Epstein. Everyone understands that there might not be a, you know,
smoking gun.
Right,
or, yeah.
but no one feels very satisfied with the level of investigation that was taking place or the transparency. And it seems that the FBI and other government agencies care more about managing the narrative than actually just revealing the information that needs to be revealed.
Then we have interviews with former...
Okay, y'all, that's a lot. We done did a lot today. Come on, behind the scenes, people getting angry. We didn't get down to the core as far as like where the file's at and what they got to say. But we did peel a lot of layers back off of this. We got to keep on moving forward to Port St. Lucie. And you guys be careful. Parents, aunts, nieces, anyone that's a female, even guys. Y'all got to stop with these crazy procedures that we got going on nowadays. These Brazilian butt lifts, the injections, and all sorts of crazy things that we're doing. And we're trusting these people to perform high caliber procedures on us at $half prices, and you got to be careful with that, because guess what? Sometimes you get what you pay for. Situation in Florida where we got this woman who was arrested for performing med spa, giving a woman facial paralysis, and she was doing this in a shed in the back of her house. I know y'all want to try to get looking better or enhance your body, but if someone's office, medical practice is in a shed in their backyard, I don't think I'm going to let them perform anything for me. Maybe a barbecue. That's about it. A pool party. But as far as any medical procedures, not on me.
A woman is in the county jail tonight accused of running a fake med spa. She apparently ran it out of a backyard shed. Ari Haight with our South Florida sister station reports a woman called police to say the Botox injection she was given left her with facial paralysis.
This is Rosa Mena, 50 years old. Port St. Lucie police say she isn't a doctor, but she was playing one in a shed in her backyard, running a med spa. It looks somewhat legitimate on the inside, but police say Mena has no license, no certification. One victim told police she thought she was getting a good deal on Botox for Mena, but wound up with facial paralysis.
I'm disappointed to hear it. It's not shocking.
Dr. Brian Haas is a real plastic surgeon practicing in Palm Beach Gardens for 3 decades. He says he's heard about scams like this before, but usually down in Miami, not in our neighborhoods.
Someone is charging you a bargain price. Something's not right.
Dr. Haas says that should be your first red flag. These treatments, if they're legit, are expensive. This is not the place to be bargain shopping.
Those are real medical treatments. And just as you wouldn't want to put bad gas in your car, you shouldn't let anything bad go into your body.
Dr. Haas says if you're looking to get something done, find a plastic surgeon, a dermatologist, even a physician's assistant or a nurse practitioner.
Make sure that person's been well trained and ask them about their training. How long have they been doing it? Did they just start last Tuesday, or have they been doing it for years?
And don't stop there. Ask to see their credentials and ask around.
Be sensible, do word of mouth, and there's a reason that people get that much training.
Girl, ain't nothing wrong with your nose.
Police say after Mina was challenged about not having a license, she told her patient it was okay because she was a doctor from the Dominican Republic. Mina now faces a long list of criminal charges, including aggravated battery and practicing medicine without a license.
Hey, mommy, let me see your license. Let me see. Oh, don't worry, baby. I do this in Dominican Republic. I have a license there, but not a part of the United States. That's why I give you the good price. So don't worry about it. I do it good there. I have my certification in Dominican Republic. But when I come here, I don't have it. So that's why I give it for you for a cheapy price. Okay? Tú también? También? Sí, tú también. Keep on moving forward. Mad Hatter says, in the DR alleyway too. A DR from DR. How am I to pay my Lambo payment if you go to people like that? E-Rock, there you go. We got the retired army man says, ugly people thinking that getting beat enough with ugly stick is somehow going to put them in the cover of Vanity. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. I like that one. That was a good one. He thought that beating their faces up was going to beat them into the cover of Vanity. Nah, that's not going to do it. We know a lot of people go under the knife. And the sad part about it is so many people are already beautiful. You're beautiful, it's true. Like Little Kim and all of these people, that you're already gorgeous. Leave your face alone and take that stuff out your butt. How you gonna keep it up when you're 50? One cheek sagging to the right, one up on the left, trying to come around to the front to be in your front pocket. Walking like this, like a savage, looking like a orangutan or something. What's gonna happen when you get 50 and 60 years old with all that stuff in your butt? You ever think about that? It's gonna be sliding all around. Like, you know how you got big stuff in your pockets and they be sliding all around to the wrong place? That's what's gonna happen when it starts sliding and dropping. Y'all gonna see what happened. Y'all gonna see. We're gonna keep on moving forward because now we got this situation where this national/Texas animal rescue group is taking in displaced pets after the deadly floods in Texas. Any guys out there, y'all love animals, I am gonna have the link in the description to help out all of these foundations with all of these animals that are going through this terrible time right now. It's not just about the humans, it's about the animals that went through the floods. A lot of them lost their humans. A lot of these animals have to be put somewhere else and maybe rehoused for a little while until their humans can be found. So this is the part where I'm saying I think we need to step up. People in Texas and in the surrounding areas need to step up right now and take care of these animals and donate. Give some money, not to me, so y'all can't call me no grifter. I want y'all to give some money, whether it's $2. Y'all got to think about something. There's a lot of people here. You give $2 times everybody, that could be $200. So it's not like people ask for a lot. And you could help me out sometime too. Let's keep on looking at, let's keep on going over here. Check this out.
This is having a devastating effect on the area's pets and wildlife. Countless animals have been displaced and now
My favorite dog. I mean, how could you not? Look at that face. Everything in my pockets, whatever's in my refrigerator, and yes, you can sleep in my bed. I mean, come on.
welfare groups are teaming up to relocate those pets and keep them safe until they can be reunited with their owners. Chief Program Officer for the Best Friends Animal Society, Mark Peralta, is here to tell us more about that. Mark, I know it's a busy time, so thanks for coming on. Your organization was involved in an emergency airlift to get these animals out of the flood zone. Can you walk us through that operation, how that went down?
Yeah, so I work for Best Friends Animal Society. We're a national organization that has about 5,000 partners all over the country, including Central Texas. And when the floods occurred, we knew right away from other emergency response situations, such as the fires in Los Angeles, that we have shelters that are full of animals. And what we were going to need in any kind of an event like this was to make room for displaced pets, lost pets, and, you know, provide that relief for families that are already going through a complete tumultuous situation to have maybe one less thing to worry about. So we started activating our partnerships. We have a great partnership with Austin Pets Alive, which is there close in central Texas, to airlift with Wings of Rescue about 130 cats and dogs that were already available in those shelters out. So there was room and time for displaced pets to be able to stay in the community, be safe, and hopefully get reunited with their families.
What happens if a pet can't be reunited with its owner?
It's got to be rehomed.
So a lot of times, and especially in an emergency situation, because we make room, we can extend stays to make sure that we're giving enough time for somebody to be reunited, even longer than typical in a shelter environment. But at some point in time, that ownership can transfer over and the pet can be adopted. So just like any pet in a shelter, they could go up for adoption. But a lot of times when if situations like this occur, we will extend wait periods just to make sure that we are giving ample amount of time, because we always want them to go back home first, especially if we know that they're stray or lost.
The name of their rescue is called the Best Friends Animal Society. If you guys want to donate, it's the Best Friends Animal Society. Somebody on here said, where do I want you to donate so y'all can come sleep in my crib? Are y'all crazy? You ain't coming to stay over here. I don't know you people, but it's called the Best Friends Animal Society. If you guys feel like y'all want to donate some money to help out at this time. And if y'all trying to make some money, go ahead and hit that link in that description and fill out one of those surveys, because you're going to be able to make up to $850 today. That's right. You'll make some money and I'll make some money too. How? By hitting the link in the description. Go in there and see a couple of surveys. Wow, this one is for $500. This one is for $200. Let's see if I can do it and get it done. I make money and you guys make money too. Also, if you're trying to promote a business, maybe you're a mobile barber, you could be a detailer. I don't know what you do, but whatever you guys do, send me over your promotions 10 by 1080, and I'll put them in the post notification area where our 35,000+ subscribers are going to be able to see your promotion, and maybe you'll be able to make some more business, which turns into what? More money. And then what we gonna be doing, that's right, you guys, on the 26th of this month, we're doing the Show Your Talent search. That's when you, the talented at whatever type of talent you do, you could be a singer, you could be a dancer, you could be a gymnast. I don't know what you do, but I want to find out what you do. I'm gonna be in the Bronx and Throgs Neck, and we're going to be there on the 26th of this month at the Throgs Neck Superstore Liquor and Wine Warehouse. That's right, you guys. That's in Throgs Neck, right before the Throgs Neck Bridge. Some lucky person is going to win $250 in the Bronx. And then we're going to go to Brooklyn. And then we're going to do it in Manhattan. Then we're going to do it in... Oh, we already did Queens. We're going to do it in, what's the next one? Staten Island. And that's when we're going to find all 5 boroughs of all of the talented people and bring them to one location where they could win $1,000. That's going to be sponsored by Big Drip Hard Punch, and your boy Bugatti NYC is going to be the host of all of those events. And that's why I'm trying to tell you guys, the first event is going to be, second event is going to be in the Bronx at 315 Hutchinson, and that's where we're going to be at, in the Superstore in the Metroplex, right before the Hutchinson River. That's right, the Hutchinson River, the bridge, right there. Right there. And we're going to be sponsored by Big Drip Hard Punch. And if you guys want to be a part of that, all you got to do is go to the website, www.drinkbigdrip.com. You're going to see a link in the bottom. You're going to put your email address in there and make sure that you're 21 and older and you've already signed up. Just make sure that you're in the 5 boroughs. I'm going to ask you by responding and saying, hey, what borough you in? After we find out what borough you in, we're going to sign you up and you can make some money from the Show Your Talent search. Today is Friday. So all you guys that got the rest of the weekend off, thankfully, you'll get a break. I won't, because I'm back here tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the morning, because we do this every day. But what I don't want you to do is live for the weekend, because we all about living and moving stronger and making problems present opportunities. We don't look at the problem in the negative aspect. We look at it in the positive aspect, because we can see the solution and we pull the solution out of the problem. Drink some water. Pray to God and thank him for the fact that he woke us up today to deal with that problem. Because a lot of times we complain that we have this problem going on and that problem going on. But guess what? If we weren't able to wake up this morning, we wouldn't even be able to deal with that problem. So let's deal with that first. And with that being said, it's your boy, Bugatti NYC. And like I always tell you, y'all could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So until tomorrow, y'all know what it is. Ha ha, get 'em. One, peace. Ha ha, yeah.